I wanted to highlight this because I've been using this more and more in some of the tutorials that I've been writing, and I think it's a really powerful feature. And essentially, the idea here, I'll go through it sort of a simple example, but you can really apply this to anything really. But here's my kind of simple example. I have an issue tracker here, and users have or members of the development team maybe have submitted bug reports for issues in a piece of software, for example. And I'm using the tags, entry tags here to tag those issues. And then I can click into an issue here, and I can see kind of more information about that issue. But I might have a need to add some data here. Like, for example, if I'm receiving support tickets from users that are having the same issue, I might want to add links to those tickets right here in the entry, so that we can go ahead and see what kind of issues the users are having and get more information to solve the issue, right? And one way we can do that is we can use a separate Gravity form to include links to those support tickets. And then we can actually create a view for that form and then embed that view into the single entry page here on the issue tracker view, and then have those entries linked to the parent entry. So it's kind of like a parent-child relationship, and we actually have a meta field in GravityView to do this. And this is a really cool thing. And I'm going to go through an example here and show you how you would set this up. And if it sounds a little bit confusing now, just wait till the end of the example, then you'll be able to see exactly what it looks like. And I can guarantee you'll see exactly how this works and why it's so powerful. So the first thing I'm going to do is just go to my dashboard here, and I'm going to create a brand new form. And it's going to be a really simple form. I'm just going to have like a ticket ID field and a date field. So let me go ahead and add a name here, relevant tickets. And that'll take me into the Gravity Forms editor, so I can quickly build this form. So let's go ahead and add a simple date field. There we go. Whoop. And I'll add a, there we go, date dropdown. Cool, and then I'm going to add a number field for the ticket ID. So we've got date, and change this to ticket ID. There we go. Let me go ahead and save the form. All right, so that's a really simple form just to add support tickets. And then I'm going to go ahead and create a new view so we can visualize that data. And then I'm going to link it all together. So bear with me. All right, so we're going to go ahead and create a simple table view here. Tickets. There's annoying notices showing up. And we'll use the simple table layout. Things are always a little bit slow when I'm sharing my screen here. Sorry about that. There we go. All right, we don't need the search functionality, so I'm going to go ahead and remove these widgets at the top. And then I've got these fields pre-added, which is fantastic. We don't need a link to the single entry, so I'm going to unlink that. And what I'm going to do here, instead of just having the ticket ID, I'm going to actually create a dynamic link here using a custom content field. So if I add the custom content field in here, that should add any second now. Oh, maybe I didn't click it. Oh, there we go. All right, so let me open the custom content field. I'm going to add a simple HTML link. And let's say, for example, the link to my support site is like gravitykits.com. slash, and then support, and then slash the ticket ID. So I can go ahead and use the merge tag. Oh, let me go ahead and save the view quickly so I can have access to that merge tag. So let me just go ahead and publish real quick, and then I'll show you exactly how that works. All right, so we are getting there. Things are always slow when you don't want them to be slow.
It's true. And things sometimes move too quickly when you want to savor them.
Yeah, such is life, huh? All right, finally. Okay, so let me continue here. I'm setting up this custom link, and I'm going to add the ticket ID there. So this is just an example. Let me finish that off. And then for the link text, I'm going to add the ticket ID again. So we're going to create basically just a simple anchor link. And then let's give that a label, ticket ID. And we'll call this one date submitted, or you know what, date received. Okay, so that's it for our very simple view. And then we're going to ensure that entries do not need to be approved by unchecking that. And then I'll update the view. So as you can see, it's a very simple form and a very simple view. But that's just going to allow us to collect relevant support tickets that might have a connection to or might be relevant to a certain issue. So that has been created. So now I can go back to my issue tracker view, the first one that I showed you. And here I am in the view editor. And I'm on the single entry screen here. And if I add a field, in GravityView, you have the ability to embed forms and views into other views. So I'm going to start with a form. So I'll just search for form and click on Gravity Forms. And this is going to add a Gravity Forms field here in the single entry. Just give it a second.
This never takes this long when
things
you're
are
not
never
live
like
streaming.
this. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. It could be the server that I'm using. This demo site is quite bulky, and yeah, anyway. So we've got our Gravity Forms field added here, and I can open the field settings to select a form. I'm going to go ahead and choose, I've got a lot of forms here, but I'm going to go ahead and select the relevant tickets form that I just created. There we go. And I don't need to show the form title or the description. And we can use Ajax. Okay, cool. So that's set up. And now I want to actually show those tickets. So what I can do is I can add a view. So I'll just search for view, and there's a GravityView view field that I can go ahead and add to the editor. There we go. And if I open the field settings, I can select the view to embed. So again, it's going to be relative tickets. I believe it's this one.
And there's a drop down that we can't see because of the live stream. There's a drop down that appears.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I open that drop down, you don't see it on the screen share, unfortunately. But anyway, I've chosen the view that I need. And then I can come down here. Now, this is the very important part. If I come down to the advanced settings, what I need to do is add a filtering condition here so I can associate submitted entries with the parent entry. And the way that we do that is by using the GK underscore parent underscore entry underscore ID meta field here. And then we leave the search operator as is. And then here we're going to use the entry ID merge tag. There we go. So that's ensuring that the parent ID of the submitted entry is the same as the submitted entries ID.
And this
And
is
that
how
will
to do it.
establish.
Sorry, Casey. This is how to do it without the advanced filtering add-on extension that we have. You can also use the advanced filtering extension to do this in the view editor using a UI, like a user interface, instead of doing it using the search field and search value. But you can set that up multiple ways.
Right. This is a really neat way to do it. So I've got that set up now. So I'm going to go ahead and update my view. And then we'll take a look at that on the front end. Let that update. It'll take a second, like everything is today, unfortunately. Okay, so let me go ahead and refresh the page. Okay, so here we have the form that we added for adding relevant tickets. And then here we have the Gravity view. So no entries at the moment. But if I submit the form here, so let me go ahead and fill it out. August 27, and I'll add an ID here, and then submit the form. So I've submitted that entry. And then all I need to do in this case is just refresh the page. And we can see that that ticket has been added here in the view. And that is an anchor link that we can click to be taken through to that ticket. So this is a really neat way to associate entries from a form to a parent entry in GravityView. And another really cool thing that you can do if you don't want to have to refresh the page is you can actually use the data table's auto update feature. And that'll update every so often to show new entries. And the way that you can do that is just by going back to the second view that we created here, relevant tickets, and changing the view type to data tables table. And then let's go ahead and update. And then, yeah, if you didn't know, data tables has a special feature called auto update. You can set an increment in minutes, and the table will automatically refresh its data depending on the time frame that you set, without needing to update the page. Okay, so we've changed the layout. We can come down here to the data table settings, and I'm going to remove the buttons for now. But here at the bottom is the enable auto update checkbox. So I can check that. And then I need to add an interval in minutes. In this case, I want it to be quite quick. So I'm going to say 0.3 minutes. That'll be about 20 seconds. And then let's go ahead and update that again. And then we'll go back to the main view and see how that changes things.
As a developer, I always get nervous when I see international uses of commas instead of decibels. I hope this works.
Well, it should work. I've played around with this quite a bit.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and refresh the page again. Give it a couple seconds.
And I hope that while you're watching this, you get a sense for that this could be used for all sorts of use cases, not just tickets and stuff. Oh, here we go. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so the table is here. And let me go ahead and add a new entry to this form. And add a new ticket ID here. Submit. So that'll submit the entry. And then data tables should automatically retrieve that data without the need for a page refresh. And that'll happen every 20 seconds or so. There we go. We can see loading data. Give it a second, and there we go. So the new entry has been loaded straight in there.
Nice. And, a lot of people have orders coming in through Gravity Forms that they display with GravityView, or student registration or event registration, and that really could benefit from live updates of this data. So this is an awesome demonstration of how you can build real applications using GravityView and Gravity Forms.